Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where it's time for, guess what? More relic weapons. This step is, I think, one of the easiest steps in the relic weapons? Kind of. It might get a little bit expensive. It's going to be a little bit expensive, but I don't recall it being a particularly difficult step in any way. So let's get started. Hello, Jelzon. His brow furrowed, Jelzon seems deep in thought about the Zodiac Brave's arms. Satora, come tell me, how fares your relic? It's doing pretty good, but... Splendid, splendid! Why, I dare say our efforts with soul energy have been well worth it. I suppose this is when I ordinarily reveal my next grand plan for further enhancing your relic. It shames me to say that I have none to share. Not for a lack of thought, though. I have revisited each step of your journey, starting with the relic's initial infusion of Thavnarian mist. From there, I have considered your painstaking collection of crystallized souls and how each of the 12 varieties of Atma were infused into your relic thereafter. Yes? I've reflected on asking you to walk in the footsteps of the Zodiac Braves and how you absorb the light of slain souls into your relic. And did not such efforts yield a mightier weapon still? Indeed they did, as did using a sphere scroll to imbue your relic with the fortifying strength of Materia made into light. Very expensive step. Finally, I have dwelt upon our application of Soul Glaze so that all the energies became aligned with the weapon. By my estimations, you now hold an arm of unparalleled soul attunement because of it. It has been quite the winding road we've walked, but we have traversed it with success, and I would perfect your relic no matter how long it takes. Yet... well, as I said, I have done all I can think to do. The soul within your relic must be close to that of the armor legend I desire to recreate. But what comes next? Mayhap the nature of the soul in your relic is lacking. No, that cannot be. Please, Satora, do not mistake my pessimism for a lack of will. I simply lack for a way. I'm at wit's end, unable to see the forest for the trees, as it were. Although I am certainly not without allies, what if Geralt holds the answer to this particular conundrum? I can't say I relish the notion, but it would be thoughtless to dismiss a man's curious expertise. Could I ask you to approach him in my stead, Satora? You have convinced a man to lend us his aid before, perchance you can do so again. I kind of feel like we should let the man rest, but... sure, I'm down to ask Geralt for more help. Hello, Geralt. Would you mind helping us one more time with the relic weapon? I swear we're almost done. This is the second to last step. If you're here for your kettle, it ain't ready. Takes time to get the texture just right, you can? Oh, for the love of the gods, it's you! Does your yearning for punishment know no bounds? Or is it just that yonder old coot can't get enough of me sparkling personality? So you're both still foundering over that relic of yours? Well, I do owe Jelzon a debt for that wine. I have a mind to help. Who knows, might be as there's another bottle or three of fiery liquor in it for me if I do. You know what? Fair enough. Jelzon? Sounds like we've got his aid. Oi, Jelzon, for all the time you spend burying your beak in moldy books, how is it you're always lost for us what to do with a bleeding relic? Well, never fear. I'm here to bail you out of your predicament. The way I see it, you're trying to better a weapon what can't be improved anymore. We've just made the thing into the bleeding picture of perfection. No amount of spit and polish will make it any finer. I suppose I know what you say to be true, but I cannot help but feel that there is something more still to be done to realize its potential. I wish there were, seeing as restoring that bloody relic is some of the finest work I've ever done. But if you mean to make a legendary arm like what the Zodiac Braves wielded, well, you can't do it with this. The weapons are just different down to the very smithing. But if this relic can ever become... has my work been for naught? I must return to my research then. Mayhap I will find a clue on some forgotten page. A clue, you say? A clue what unlocks a forgotten way to forge steel? Seven hells, old man, that sounds bleeding interesting. Here, let me look at a book or two. Can very well call myself the best smithy in the land if there's a technique beneath the sun I don't know, can I? Your skill is not in doubt, Geralt, but precious few descriptions of the arms of legend's appearance remains, and accounts of their fashioning are fewer still. Even this, my most comprehensive tome, holds but snippets. It would take a genius to understand it. Can't you remember who you're talking to, old man? If the greatest weaponsmith in all the realm can't figure it out, no one can. Let's give it a read. Well, blow me down. This is some bleeding brilliant smith and what's written here. My finest kettle work pales in comparison. Gods, I have a mind to try my hand at this. But, well, you are welcome to the techniques, but what of the materials? I dare say you cannot find the catalyst the ancients used for soul infusion in this age. Simply put, we cannot just recreate a legendary arm. Might be as you have a point there. Given the right stuff and a picture, I could fashion a fair likeness of a Zodiac Brave's arm, but I'm well buggered as to how you might infuse it with a soul. I've no doubt, I doubt Thavnarian Mist could do the job. The relic's infused with soul, then fortified with Atma, and spiced with materia made light. 7 hells, I've got it! What? Break out your strongest liquor, old man. There is a way to recreate an arm in legend. See, the relic's got the right bleeding soul energy, we just need to get that to ascend to a legendary host. Ascend the soul into a new host? My friend, should you but prove yourself here, I will sing your praises not only as the greatest weaponsmith of the realm, but the greatest of our era. Oh, I'll have you singing like a canary by the time I'm through. But let's not forget about your old payment. A bottle or 3 of fiery liquor, eh? Good. Now first, we've to assemble a few raw materials. Just because I have an inkling of how to forge an arm in legend, don't mean I know what it's supposed to look like. I'll need a tome what'll tell me about the original's appearance. Seeing as you have bartered for books by yourself in the past, I'll leave the finding of the brilliant thing to you. I've no mind to get pecked by the harpies around Revenant's Toll. Next, we'll need something to forge the host. You're about as like to find what they used eras ago as I am to find sobriety, so we'll just have to use the next best thing, whatever that is. What we're looking for is the most versatile materials that can be formed into anything. Of a feeling something like that can't be bought for all the gil in Eorzea, so you want to talk to a bloke what's wise in the ways of crafting and gathering. Now, if you can lay your hands on that for the new host, then we've to deal with infusing it with soul energy. That means some mighty special form of materia. Might be as I have an idea of where we'll get our materia, so don't worry about that for now. Of course, I'm not certain how we'll infuse it with a host, seeing as this new materia is 100 times more powerful than ordinary gobs of stuff. Could we not channel the energy of this highly potent materia into another sphere scroll? It is a method that has served us well in the past. Unless, of course, the materia is so powerful it would incinerate a standard sphere scroll. Is it even possible to contain such energy? I know little of sphere scrolls beyond that which you have shared with me. However, Master Mutamix and his disciples at the bonfire may have the answer. And we will need a catalyst for the material's transformation to light. I suspect, however, that no ordinary Alexandrite will suffice this time. You would do well to see, you would do best to seek a strange fellow signing himself a treasure hunter. I've heard he found an exotic stone, and I am certain the man, and those close to him, cannot be difficult to find. You're to come straight back here when you've gathered all the bits and bobs together. As much as I thought I'd had enough of ya, I know I can stand a little more. If it means seeing a real arm of legend come together and the soul in your relic ascend, let's do it. Alright, we've got 4 steps to this process. Let me double check some materials we'll need to prepare in advance and we'll get started on this. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need we can get for Grand Company seals. We're going to come over here and you'll see that I am very, very short on Grand Company seals right now, so I won't be able to grab this yet, but I do at least want to show where you get it so that we know so that you know and can come back for it. We are going to need 4 bombard cores per relic weapon. So that is going to be 80,000 Grand Company seals total. I will go ahead and grind those out on my own time shortly, and I'll get my bombard cores and be ready to go. That is 4 per weapon, so 80,000 Grand Company seals total. Next up, next on our shopping list to prepare for what's coming up, we are going to need 4 Sacred Spring Waters. That's going to be under Special Arms. It is 200 poetics each, so 800 poetics total per relic weapon. This is gonna be an expensive step, I said so. Next on the list, coming over here to White Brim Front up in Kurth's Central Highlands. The Merchant Amender here is gonna have our next material we're going to want to get ready. Oh, I saw it on the list. We're going to need 1 Furite Sand per weapon. If you have the money for it, and you intend to do all 10 weapons, might as well grab 10 while you're here. But I'm a little short on cash, so I'm just gonna buy the 1. Next up, coming back to Hearst Mill, we are going to go ahead and head into this northeast building and speak to the tool supplier and mender. And we're going to need to buy one of Gerald's kettles. We're gonna need one of Gerald's kettles for this. Again, 1 per relic, so if you want to do all 10 relics, might as well buy 10 if you have the money. I'm a little strapped for cash, so that's not happening for me. I'll get the rest as I need them. Next up on the list. Every time I come here, this worm's always attacking people. Anyways, next up on the list, we need to come to Forgotten Springs in Southern Thanalan and head over to the Merchant and Mender. Next item we need for this step is going to be... there it is, Elegant Resin. Again, 1 per relic weapon. If you have the money and you intend to go for all 10 weapons, might as well get 10 while you're here. Next on the list. Over here in Upper Lenosia, we are heading to Jijirune's trading post. You're going to have the next item we need to get for this relic step. The Bronze Lake Crystal. Again, 1 per relic. If you intend to go for all 10, might as well get 10 while you're here if you have the cash. One more stop for our shopping list before we can get started on the quests themselves. Alright, our last stop on our shopping list is here at the Silver Bazaar in Western Thanalan. If you do not have Crafters and Gatherers leveled up, well, especially Crafters leveled up, with Master Recipes 1 unlocked for each and every one of your Crafters, you may want to skip this and just go directly buying it off the market board, or find a friend who does have Crafters leveled and ask them to deal with this for you. You'll probably have to pay them a pretty big fine, just because it can get a little expensive. But we're going to need to come to this merchant here in the Silver Bazaar. See these 8 aged items? We're going to need to buy each of them. And this is going to be a little bit RNG. It may be better to buy, say, 10 at a time. In fact, let me do that. Because I'm going to need 10 of these items anyway at a minimum. Likely much more than that, but... these are fairly cheap, so it's not too big of a deal. You can probably also get this off the market board for cheaper, just depending on your RNG, but what we're going to do is for each of these aged items, we're going to desynthesize them. Your desynth level doesn't matter too much, but if your desynth level is high enough, above 55, you have an increased chance of getting high quality of what we're looking for, which is... for the aged ring, if it'll give it to us, please RNG. At least we're getting some nice other items out of it. Sunstones. Ah! No, I did not see it. I thought I saw it, but I was looking at the wrong thing. Dang, absolutely no luck. But we did get a clear demi materia that we can sell for 1,000 gil, which makes up for 1/3 of the price. Lovely. Did we really not get a single one of it? Wow, unlucky. Very unlucky. Okay, let's try with the spear. Maybe we'll get lucky here. RNG hates me. Hey, at least I'm getting some items out of it that I can put towards other things, like reselling on the market board or just crafting if I happen to need them for any crafting. Oh, this RNG hates me. This RNG hates me so much. There we go, aged spear shaft. Each of these aged items, if you are lucky, will drop 1 aged version, or just 1 aged crafting ingredient. And then from those, we can make perfect crafted items. Perfect mortar for armor. Perfect pestle for blacksmith. Perfect firewood for carpenter. For leatherworker, perfect vellum. For weaver, perfect cloth. Is it perfect cloth? It is perfect cloth. Okay, stained cloth is what you get from desynthesizing. Got it. For alchemist, we can get... where are you? Perfect pounce. Dried ether, I think, is what we get from the desynth. Oh god, have we caught an ether louse yet? I don't think we have. Oh dear. Okay, well, refer to fishing for, we're probably gonna be catching ether louses in the fishing videos. Or you can just buy that off the market board. And fishing should be soon. I hope. I hope it's soon. It depends on my luck. And then for culinarian, where are you? Oh, it's a tailor-made eel pie. tailor-made eel pies we'll be making. I'll go over all the gathering we need to do for all of that in a little bit, but we're going to need to make one of each of those items for each relic weapon we make. It may be more worth it to just buy off the market board. I'm going to craft it myself. I'm going to try and be self-sufficient. But it just depends on the RNG on how much money I spend on this. So wish me luck. I'll go ahead and get the aged pieces that I need, and then I'll meet you back to actually talk about the crafting. We'll craft all of those items, and then we will move on to actually doing the quests that we've done all this shopping for. Busy. This is a very expensive step. It's not a hard step, it's just a very expensive step with a lot of shopping involved. Alright, looks like one of the items we need for the crafting portion of the relic weapon is going to be something we have not gathered before. We need pumice, which is found in Eastern Lenosia on time nodes. We need 4 total for the relic weapon crafts. I'm going to grab as many as I can. If I can get 40, that would be the ideal, since that'll be enough to do all 10 weapons, but there's no way I'm getting 40 in this gather. We'll just have to come back for a second round and get the rest. That's fine. Alright, I've got a few more things to gather, and then I'll be ready for the crafting portion. Alright, I am back, and I am ready to get the crafting done, so let's get started on this. Let's get the perfect firewood crafting, and then I'll go ahead and start reading off the materials. It's perfect firewood, right? Also, I believe we would need these all to be high quality. I believe that is required for quest progress, so don't craft the normal quality, craft the high quality. And yeah, it's perfect firewood. I'm just paranoid. I don't want to have to gather supplies again. Set you there. Okay, so starting off with crystals, we need 4 fire shards, 10 wind shards, 4 earth shards, 2 lightning shards, 5 water shards, 5 fire clusters, 3 ice clusters, 6 wind clusters, 4 earth clusters, 3 lightning clusters, and 3 water clusters. Once we have all of those, we can begin working through getting the actual materials. Starting out with... It says we can pick up some stuff from shopping areas in the main city-state, so let's check that out first. After I've switched over and started working on the next craft. Perfect pestle. Let's get it done. Okay, so from any of the vendors, you can buy from the tradecraft vendors in major city-states 1 mineral water and 2 buffalo milk. Next on my list. Let's see, anything in North Shroud? I don't see anything in North Shroud, so we don't have to touch the Ixal Society. Fair enough, save your currency for other things. In Mordona, we can do big fishing for the 1 ether louse. Ether louse can be caught at... Let me actually check that real quick. Ether louse can be caught at North Silver Tier. I believe I have my notes for that in a previous fishing video that we did. We've done many fishing videos, but that is post-game big fishing, so... I would recommend using Carbuncle Plushie's tracker in order to help track down those big fish. Next up, after Mordona, let's go Central Shroud next. In Central Shroud, we can do Time Botany for 4 cypress logs. In South Shroud, we can do regular botany for 2 flax, and regular mining for 1 effervescent water and 1 black alumine. In Southern Thanalands next, we can fight Pisces for 1 Pisces skin. Alright, let's get started on the next one. Over to Goldsmith. We are making a furnace ring, I believe it is. Alright, so next up in Central Thanalan, We can do regular mining for 1 rock salt, as well as regular botany for 1 clove and 1 black pepper. In Western Thanalan, we can go fishing, just regular fishing, for 1 silver shark at Cape Westwind, and 1 hammerhead shark down at the Silver Bazaar. In Northern Thanalan, we can do regular mining for 1 grenade ash and 1 basilisk egg. In Middle Lenosia, we can do regular botany for 4 sunset wheat. In Eastern Lenosia, we can do timed mining for 4 pumice, as well as regular botany for 3 mahogany logs. Alright, on to the next one, on to Leatherworker. Perfect vellum's next. Alright, and up in Upper Lenosia, we can do big fishing for 1 worm of Nim. Again, check Carbuncle Plushie's tracker for help with big fishing. It's a very, very good website. And finally, 1 regular mining in Upper Lenosia for 1 Electrum Sand. Okay, that's it for the regular gathering. From those various aged items down in Western Thanalan Silver Bazaar that you buy from the merchant and mender there, we need to get 1 vintage cooking sherry, 1 stained cloth, 1 dried ether, 1 aged vellum, 1 aged spear shaft, 1 aged pestle pieces, 1 aged mortar pieces, and 1 aged eye of fire. Okay, next up is Weaver. Let me get that macro set because it's not on Weaver yet. And we are making a perfect cloth. Alright. The last thing we need is Balladian silver. We need 2 Balladian silver, which comes from Time-worn boarskin maps, Time-worn Pisces skin maps, and unhidden leather maps. It's RNG whether you get it, so you may want to get it off the market board if you're not having good luck with the treasure maps. But 2 Balladian silver is what we need. Next up, we can move on to the pre-crafting. From Carpenter, we can make 1 mahogany lumber. From Goldsmith, 1 basilisk whetstone. From Leatherworker, 1 Pisces leather. From Weaver, 1 linen yarn. From Alchemist, 1 shark oil. Next on our list is Alchemist. Making good progress through this. For Alchemist, we are making perfect pounce. Alright, more pre-crafting as Culinarian, 1 table salt, 1 smooth butter, 1 sunset wheat flour, and 1 pie dough. Once that is done, we should be able to craft all 8 of the perfect items, that is perfect firewood, perfect pestle, perfect mortar, furnace ring, perfect vellum, perfect cloth, perfect pounce, and tailor-made eel pie. 1 from each of the crafters, all in your Mastercraft 1 books. Alright then. Last thing I need to do before we can get started on the actual quests themselves in order to get the 4 materials that Geralt needs. Apparently dropped my water bottle. Let's go ahead and get that Culinarian crafted real quick. Tailor-made eel pie. But yes, last thing I need to do is I need to grind out 80,000 Grand Company seals to get those 4 bombard cores, and then we are ready to cruise through and get this next relic step done. So, I'll be back once I have those bombard cores and we can get started. We'll try to just go through it nice and smooth and quickly. Good news! I was able to grind up enough Grand Company seals for our first bombard cord, so let's get started with the first part of actually getting what we need to make a new weapon. So the first thing that was on the list was getting a new book, I believe? New book in order to learn what the actual weapon looked like. Geralt needs a basis to work from. I think Papana? Papana. A Ponze of flesh. Papana is grumbling to herself about ancient tomes and a lack of custom, and this will give us the book. A sacred tome depicting the valorous deeds of the Zodiac Braves, legendary heroes from a bygone era. This volume provides detailed descriptions of the mythical arms the men and women wielded. Oh, what use is it having wares aplenty to sell and not a soul round with any intent to buy them? But I suppose griping about it won't change things none, nor do offer a good Jusana. Oh, and where did this trapping lass like yourself spring from? If you've a mind to barter for tomes, there's no need to speak with yon pretty lass. Nay, Papa'll deal with you instead. Now don't think ill of me as some filter of others' custom. Nay, though I may be the wandering sort at heart, I'm here because Gujasana is my dearest friend from years back. I hadn't thought to meet her again in a place like this, though. 'Tis the cruelest of fates that keeps me friend here upon in Book's venture. Gujasana's fallen into fearsome debt with that harpy Rowena. Selling tomes is as dull as the day is long, but even that's a boon for the lass. Well, Papana's nothing if not loyal, so I march myself up to Rowena and wheedle myself to work peddling tomes. What wages I don't need to eat, I'm using to pay down Gujasana's debts. Now, Avenger, were you not just telling me why you've come yourself? God, Rowena's nasty. Let me guess, the interest is too high for either of you to even begin to pay it down. A book about ancient heroes and the weapons they wielded, eh? Well, there's a chance I laid eyes on such a tome just a few days ago, so there is. Tell you what, how about we make a fair trade of it? The book you want for a bombard core and a bottle of sacred spring water, and a bronze lake crystal. That's an equitable deal if I do say so myself. Well, we got the bombard core, we got the bottle of sacred spring water, we purchased that, and we got the Bronze Lake Crystal, purchased that. Bronze Lake Crystal was from Bronze Lake Merchants for 100,000 gil, Sacred Spring Water was for Poetics, and Bombard Core is for Grand Company Seals. But we've already done all that shopping, so I don't need to go over where we got all that again. Why, shouldn't be but the work of a moment for a venture like your fine self, but I'll give you a hint anyway. Gap a Bay with the merchants around Camp Bronze Lake and you might just get a shiny bit of rock. Well, good news, I already have all of it on hand. Isn't that fast and, convenient? Well, seeing as you're back to Prate, I take it you found the stuff I asked for? I did. Let me just hand it all over to you. Now hold on a moment. Are you trying to cheat me out of a book with these? The Bombard Core is missing a bit and there's a hair in the Sacred Spring Water. And tain't no upstanding head hair neither. Now, I'm not blaming you, but you must see that trading a rare and precious book for trinkets ain't fair. But I believe in second chances, and I'm willing to settle for something else. Something like a horn of the beast of what prowls the male Darkhold. And that and a God Machine Baneplate from Brayflox's Longstop will do nicely. Now, it ain't as if he either grows on trees. The truth of it is, you would have more luck find, well, a God Machine Baneplate on a tree. Of course, that's why money dilettantes will pay a small fortune for two such rare pieces. If you bring them to me, you'll get your book and a kiss, so you will. Alright then, well, that's annoying. That means our Grand Company and Oriana both ripped us off. But this does mean we are hopping back into dungeons. Zmail Darkhold and Brayflox's Longstop Hard. I'll be back when I finish both of those. Alright, finished up the second dungeon, finished up Brayflox's Longstop Hard. Sadly, didn't get any of the loot I was hoping for, but I did. When you do exit the dungeon, that is when you get the item that you need for the quest. Hello there, Papana. I bring to you the loot you were asking for. Tis a grand thing to talk, but I'd rather have a Horn of the Beast and God Machine Baneplate in hand before we start gabbing. Don't worry, I got both of what you're looking for. Stop by Naturalists and Collectors of Relics, and stop by Naturalists and Collectors of Relics. Okay, nothing interesting in there. Well now, tain't a single thing wrong with these, but I fear you've taken a few more bills than you ought to have. Rude! While that was buying me time waiting for you, who should come by but some moneyed eccentric after me books on legendary arms. And you can bet his questions were backed up with a grand old coin purse, so they were. Well, says I'm happy to hear you have enough gil to buy the library's worth of rare books, but this one ain't for sale. I have a proper sense of duty that's not like to bend for the lure of coins, so I turned him down for you. But there's a limit to me kindness. After all, I've still got to eat and set me friend free from Rowena. At present, I can't think of a reason in the realm to sell off the books, so long as you bring me a Narasima hide from Halatali and a sickle fang from Snowcloak. Well, your silence means we've an understanding, and ain't business relationships grand old things? Of course, the lass can't hold out forever, no matter how strong her principles are. Best you try it off them before I change my mind. Alright, time to run Halatali hard and Snowcloak. I'll be back after those two. Hey, good news! While I was doing Snowcloak, I got the Warren's Orchestrion roll, which is the Orchestrion roll for, Snowcloak's dungeon music. That just drops directly from the boss, I guess, because it sure wasn't in the, it sure was not in the treasure chest at the end. It just popped into my inventory when we killed the boss. And a new achievement. Let me just mark that off. And let's see. Does that give us anything? It might give us a new Orchestrion roll. It does. The seventh sun, which I'm going to assume is probably going to be one of the themes associated with the Scions. Possibly the Rising, possibly a place in the Rising Stones? Not sure. Okay, got that marked off. And let's hand in our items. Hello there, Papana. Well, don't we have a look of accomplishment about us? And do we have the Narasima hide and a sickle fang to back it up? We do indeed. Thank you, friend. 'Tis a grand thing that you've done for me, so it pains me to tell you I can't hand over your book just as yet. See, I've to earn a lot of gil to free Gujasana, and I can't very well do that if I fall from Rowena's good graces. As it happens, Rowan has ordered me to toss a heap of old tomes too moldy for selling into the furnace. I've no clue why, but I have to do that before speaking to those with custom. But I've no notion how long it'll take me to set fire to the lot, and 'tis twice the pity, as I could incinerate the whole heap in an instant if only I had a furnace ring to light the blaze, and a bundle of perfect firewood to keep it aflame. Ain't life unfair, Venture? Here I was, all ready to give you the book you've worked so hard for, and I can't for dealing with another task. You'll bring them to me? You're a true friend, so I'll not have you stumbling around the realm in search of the things. I've heard bits of aged items in the Silver Bazaar can find new use if you've the skill to take them apart. Well, now I'll just wait you here. Now hurry on back to this dainty lass. Alright, this is the last step. Perfect ring? Furnace ring is... I want to say goldsmith. Yeah, goldsmith crafting and then carpenter crafting to get the perfect firewood. Well, has me favorite venture come with a furnace ring and a bundle of perfect firewood? She has indeed. Here's your firewood, here's your ring. Twill be praised, you've done it! Now I won't have to spend ages up to me ears in musty old books. You've done right by me, I must admit. I never thought you'd do all I asked of you, especially as I'm the one who'll profit most from your labor. But 'tis all for the good if it serves to get set Gujasana free. I do hope you're not too upset with me. I realize it's horrible to take advantage of the vulnerable, and even more horrible knowing that's what you're doing. I was on the other end once when I hadn't two guilds scraped together. I had to join a certain crew known for having sticky fingers to get by. 'Twas there that I met Gujasana. Don't know what I've done without her. Hells, I'd probably be rotting away in some godforsaken jail. A saint among thieves, that Gujasana is. One what trusted what not wisely, but too bloody well. Her lover ran off with the crew's coffers, and she took the responsibility for repaying it. Well, she was kicked out on her tail with a amount of debt to boot. Nothing for the pretty lass but to steal and skirmish to make the money back. But a hard life that is, and Gujasana washed up here broken and battered to lick her wounds before too long. Well, she meets Rowena, sells herself into servitude to pay off her debts, and you know the rest. Yeah, she's been selling me those books for the book step. Tain't a new story, of course. My travels have taught me that much. The realm's full to bursting with hard-working souls like her, good folk but keep going even after being stabbed in the back. But I want someone to beat the odds, and I'll do all I can for someone to be my friend. For that someone to be me friend. Well, then I sound the sentimental fool. Anyway, you've given what I was wanting, and now it's me turn. Here, have your book of Skylight. I hope it helps you beat the odds too. Alright, thank you. That finishes a Ponze Flesh. So, these are repeatable quests. The second time you do it, and onwards, we'll have slightly different dialogue, but I'm not going to worry about showing that. You need to do it once for each of the 4 quests, once per relic that you wish to make. You do not have to do these quests as the job you're making the relic for. You just have to do the quest. It's the same exact steps every time. So it's not too bad on that front. You know exactly what to do. You just do it 10 times as any job at any time. Don't even have to wait till your relic is at the step where you need to do these quests. You can just do all 4 of them 10 times in a row in advance, and hey, look at that. You're done. You're all ready. You can just put all of your relics right through this step, nice and easy. You just gotta do the quests. in that sense, this is one of the easier steps. It's just really expensive for how much preparation you need to do. Anyways, let's see. I'm almost halfway to my next Bombered Core, so once we get the next Bombered Core, we're going to be getting our next quest from Guiding Star over here. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, well, I was about to go pick up the next quest for the, Relic weapon, but, I found the missing carbuncle, and it's gone. I'm sorry, but your carbuncle has just disappeared on you. Anyways, I got my next Bombard Core, so next up we're going to be picking up the quest from Guiding Star. Labor of Love. Trunk-like arms, akimbo, Guiding Star seems to radiate a deep understanding of crafting. Ah, my kindred spirit, have you come for more of Talon's cookbooks, or do you have another purpose here this day? I'm looking actually for a material that can be shaped into any weapon. You need a versatile material with which to fashion anew the legendary arm of a Zodiac brave? Beauregard's beard, that is no small thing. I dare say some form of dark matter would best serve your purpose, but you won't find anything suitable in Eorzea's markets. Which means you're going to have to improvise. A truly unique material is called for. While you certainly know how to pique a craftsman's interests, I'll aid you in this enterprise adventure. To begin, we must scour every elm of the realm for materials with the requisite properties. Our search may outlast our lives, mayhaps our children's lives too, but we shall be vindicated in death even if it takes 500 years. No one for Jess, I take it. No, not really. I kind of need this done sooner than that. Heh, even my passion is not so boundless. The materials I have in mind are hard to come by, 'tis true, but it's not so hard as all that. Algan resin should serve as a base for our compound. I hear some traders found a few lumps of the stuff amongst the Algan ruins in southern Thanolin. If you browse markets over there, you're sure to find one sooner or later. The journey will be long, of course, but not so arduous as searching every elm of Eorzea, eh? Well, thankfully he tells us right where to get the Algan resin, but we already have it. So you've returned, adventure. Have you found our base material? I have. Let me just pull it out. Ah, the fabled resin of Alag. An odd substance, I grant you, none alive know the true extent of its powers, nor less their source. I believe, however, that any attempt to recreate the arm of a Zodiac brave will founder without a base material as mutable as ether. This resin is one such substance. It will readily take on the qualities of whatever we choose to add to it. Which brings us on to the question of what exactly to add. Plainly, the compound needs to be indurate at heart lest it break during battle, yet supple enough that no blow may make it shatter. A veil bubbo of the kind sometimes found within the Aurum Veil will provide ample rigidity. Born of brimstone and mithril, there is no more unyielding an ore. As for suppleness, a piece of void weave would seem the ideal choice. If rumors are to be believed, it is a cloth bound together by magics from the Dark Realm. I cannot speak for the truth of such claims, of course, but I do know the fabric has only ever been found in areas where voids roam in great numbers. I fear that acquiring these materials will require no small amount of effort on your part, but we can ill afford to compromise on quality if your dream of wielding a legendary arm is to become a reality. Alright, so it looks like we're doing Aurum Veil and Hockey Manor Hard, so I'll be back once I finish those. Alright, we are back. We went ahead and ran all the dungeons, well, both of the dungeons, and got the materials we need. Nice little thing about doing the Realm Reborn relics. Since it requires you to run those dungeons, you can just grab all the loot, because most people are gonna skip it. Grab all the loot, sell it to your Grand Company for Grand Company seals, and it gets you a good chunk of the way to getting the next Bombard Core. Ah, adventure. I trust a builder let your way through both the Veil and the Void Scent? Indeed, made it through safely, got the Veil Bubo and the Void Weave. Well, I'll be damned, the Veil Bubo and the Void Weave, just as I requested. Well done to you, my friend, well done indeed. Our work is far from over, however, though we now possess the means to imbue our compound with strength and suppleness, it wants still for elegance and beauty. For the former, I believe a slip of Amdapor Vellum will serve. The people of the Lost City use magic to protect their writings against ravages of time, meaning that perfect specimens can be found there even now. As for beauty, an indigo pearl would be best, and none save the Sahagin can wrest them from the deep. That being the case, I'd suggest paying a visit to Sastasha Seagra. The pirates there are thought to guard the fishback's treasures. An arduous path awaits adventure, but she who faces the greatest risk reaps the greatest reward. Once you have brought these two, we will have all the materials we need. May the builder light your way. Alright, Lost City of Amdapor and Sastasha Hard. I'll be back when I finish with those. Lucky me, while I was running through Sastasha Hard, the boss dropped the Kraken card. So that's another triple triad card on our off our list. And that is another item that I don't have to grind for anymore. Awesome. Hello, Guiding Star, I got everything you need. Ah, how elegant will our compound be for a slip of Amdapor vellum, how radiant for an indigo pearl. Don't worry, I got what you're looking for. Your efforts have paid off handsomely, my friend. We now hold everything we need to imbue our compound with the necessary qualities. Which just leaves the small matter of making it. I will need to levigate the items you have gathered. However, the forces released in their grinding are enough to shatter solid stone. Only a perfect mortar and pestle can withstand the magics of mixing, which I think we get from armor? Though it pains me to ask you of more of you, could you procure a set? How you go about it is your business, of course, but my inner crafter tells me you can fashion them yourself. If you are inclined to try, I would advise a journey to the Silver Bazaar. The components of antiques from ages past can find new purpose after all. Alright, got our perfect mortar and perfect pestle. That is from... Perfect pestle is from blacksmith, so perfect mortar is from armor. Got it. Have you chanced upon the perfect mortar and pestle yet, adventurer? I can do nothing till you have the both of them. Don't worry, I have them both. High quality and ready to use. Ah, the quality of these tools. I tell you, adventurer, 'tis rare indeed to work with such fine instruments. I thank the builder that you chose to entrust me with this commission. Had you not, I might have gone to my grave never having laid hands on anything so fine. Ha! I can hardly wait to begin. Yet wait I must, unless you happen to have a spare bombard core and some sacred spring water to hand. The first is to provide sufficient heat to ensure that the constituents blend properly during firing, and the second to quench the mixture without adding impurities. Though no ordinary merchant will have either of these in stock, I'm quite sure that an adventurer of your experience will be able to find them somewhere or other. Don't worry, I have them right here. The completion of the process rests on your procuring a bombard core and some sacred spring water. Do you have them? I do indeed. Well done, my friend. All the pieces are in place. Our 4 key ingredients are ready to be mixed with the elegant resin, and then naught remains but to heat and quench the blend. Now allow me to crown your efforts by bringing this miraculous material into being. I present to you a material the like of which this realm has never seen. It shall take whatever form an artisan wills, meld with whatever he commands, its very essence becoming one with the whole. No other substance can boast such strength, suppleness, elegance, beauty, and versatility, and naught else is fit to forge anew an arm of legend. Friend, I give you Zodium. Haha, that the lonely road to mastery should lead me here. You have my gratitude, adventure, for fanning the flames of my curiosity, and urging me to venture into the unknown. Now take the Zodium and reforge your weapon of yore. Alright, that is 2 of the 4 materials we need. I will be back in a bit, and we will take on our next step, which I think... I want to say we're going to be going after the Sphere Scroll next? I'll double check, but I'll be back when I have a bombard core for that. Alright, we're back, and it is time for the next part of this quest, since we got our next bombard core. Hello, Adkin. We are over here at the bonfire over in Central Thanalin, where we first learned how to meld materia, and where we got the Sphere Scroll previously from Huberton. Adkin here has our quest. Method in his malice. Well, that's concerning. Adkin's unwavering stare suggests he would have words with us. You're the one who's trafficked with Huberton and Sphere Scrolls, yes? Then stop moving towards him. I said stop moving. Perhaps you do not yet know me, but you will. Soon all will know Adkin, Master Mutamix's right hand. Now what is it you want? Aggressive, okay. I'm looking for Sphere Scrolls. A Sphere Scroll. I knew it! You came to sup with Huberton's knowledge without paying me any heed. Tut-tut, miss. No more, I say. Huberton has milked your dealings enough. Today I shall fashion the scroll you seek and gain Master Mutamix's respect in so doing. Now hush, I must think. Channeling materia of power beyond compare into an empty host. Tricky. Only an ink with an unholy level of ethereal conductivity would suffice? Heh. Huberton's beloved superior enchanted ink would combust, transferring such energy into a sphere scroll. What was it Huberton's note said? Something along the lines of, kill the 4 kings, disfigured, imprisoned, unchained, and forgotten? But why? Ah, that's right, for their blood. The answer, miss, is an ink distilled from blood. Yes, the blood of these so-called kings, which you will be harvesting. Now your first target is a king disfigured. I believe it can be found in the Wanderer's Palace. I am unsure what it actually is, so I say slay anything that moves. Yes, the palace was once sacred ground, but neither the long dead of Nim nor myself care. Now go to your grisly task, and do not return without the blood. Okay, you're gonna be making us do the dungeons one at a time. Got it. Alright. Well, first one, that's gonna be the Tonberry King. Disfigured King, because the Tonberries, as we learned from the Scholar quests, used to be Nimians. I'll be back once I have finished it. Alright, got the Tonberry King's blood. What's up next, creepy person? You can't deny that he's very, very creepy. Is the deed done, miss? Have you a vial of the King Disfigured's blood? I do indeed. Yes, how disgusting. See how it oozes, miss? This viscosity means untold power. I shall begin to distill the essence from this blood, and you will not trouble me with lackwit questions while I'm at it. By which I mean, miss, that our cause will be better served if you make way to Copperbell Mines. It is home to Oranos, the king imprisoned. We seek its blood. Now leave me to my experiments, and I'll leave you to the slaying. Goodbye. Alright, on to Copperbell Mines hard then. Oh god, I've got really annoying controller drift where, for some reason, occasionally, I'm pushing back on the control stick. Yeah, back is forwards now, sometimes. It's annoying. Anyways, Copperbell. I'll be back once we've killed Oranos. As much as Oranos does not deserve it. Alright, Adkin, I'm back. Can you, give me both of the remaining dungeons at once? We know there's 2 more. You said there were 4 types of blood. And, I'd rather be done with your creepy ass sooner, because I'm honestly getting the vibes of a serial killer off of you. Oranos' might is quite legendary. Are you certain you can handle the leader of the Hecaton chairs? I can indeed, unfortunately. Yes, spending 3 centuries beneath the ground has imbued the Hecaton chairs with unnatural vitality born of malice. Very warranted malice. I am astounded that you survived, in truth. We draw nearer and nearer to our goal. You have no qualms of drawing blood again, yes? Good, then cross the Doxy's Pole to Hullbreaker Isle and kill the King Unchained. Alright, we're gonna go kill the Kraken at Hullbreaker. I guess we're doing it one at a time all the way through. Screw you. Alright, got my Kraken blood and reminded once again how little people know the mechanics of the Realm Reborn extra dungeons. Kinda wish they would add a strict eye level sync to all the old content so that people would actually be forced to learn and engage with the mechanics, because oof, it gets messy playing as healer and trying to cover for people who just ignore mechanics and get themselves nearly killed because they drop the tornado on top of everybody, or because they keep jumping in the geysers and reduce their max HP to 10%. Oh goodness. Ooh, it's tough. Anyways, hi Adkin, I got your Kraken blood. What is that awful scent? Oh, it's you and the stench of the Doxy's Pole, I suppose. Yeah, I got your Kraken blood. Have I lost my mind, or is this blood blue? And what a foul stench. Still, it ill suits an alchemist my status to bemoan the odorous. And Master Mutamix will no doubt look on me with respect if I can transform this gunk into ink. Of course, all this rests upon you obtaining 4 kinds of blood. You must still slay the King Forgotten, miss. The sunken temple of Karn is where you are like to find it. Nothing is known of the blood's owner, but the substance itself is said to be full of magics. Why, I've even heard that it can animate stone. Perhaps the walking statue is the King Forgotten. Alright, on to Karn Hard for the last bit of blood, and then we can be done with you. I'll be back. And there we go, got the Vicegerent blood from Got the Visidran blood from the Sunken Temple of Karn Hard. Let's go ahead and hand that over and we can finally be done with this guy. Hubertin, oh Hubertin, I am worthier than you, and when you have fallen from Master Munimix's good graces, I shall laugh and laugh and laugh. Why are you taunting him? Why are you just such an asshole? So this is the blood of the King Forgotten. Yes, you have done alchemy a great service by finding this, miss. Well, can we not now distill 4 kings' blood into an ink most conductive of ether? No, not yet. This ink is my alchemical masterpiece, and I shall not see its power lessened by something so base as parchment. So while I finish mixing the elements of the ink, you may busy yourself with finding a page of perfect vellum to write upon, and a pinch of perfect pounce to ensure the ink's adhesion. The vellum coming from Weaver, and the pounce coming from Alchemist, I want to say? It matters not to me whether you pilfer or purchase... No, wait, Pounce, I think, is from Leatherworker, actually. It matters not to me whether you pilfer or purchase them. Make them by reusing pieces of aged goods from the Silver Bazaar for all I care. One way or the other, kindly go away now. A genius is working. The vellum is from Leatherworker, right? Nope, that's Goldsmith. Yeah, that's from Leatherworker. Fair enough. Blast, by which I mean, oh happy, happy day, you are returned, miss. And no doubt with the vellum and pounce, yes? I have them right here. Yes, yes, exquisite, really. I owe you a debt of gratitude, or something. But really, must you always be so damned quick? My apologies, miss. I simply need more time, confound it. The ink is proving trickier than I anticipated. My best attempts are failures, and I do not like it. But you will help just one last time, yes? What am I saying? Of course you will. Now I need a bombard core to heat the blood and sacred spring water in which to suspend the distillation. And ferrite sand should bring the ethereal conductivity of the ink to new heights. No doubt you can find the pulverized alloy somewhere in the north. After all, those Ishgardians use it in the building of their castles. Alright, I have all 3 ingredients for you. Yes, 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 victory shall be mine. Soon, so soon, I will complete my long labors and take my rightful place beside Master Munimix. You have fun with that. Miss, you have what I desire, yes? Oh, how wonderful a friend, how true an ally. I will dip my quill into our ink, and with trembling fingers draw symbols of power upon the vellum. The completion of your scroll is now at hand. Yes, yes, I need but a few moments. Alone, you may have the scroll, but not the secrets of my craft. They are mine, I tell you, mine! Munimix, you need to get rid of this guy. He is, I don't think he's safe. Done. It is done! This contrivance will surely make me Master Munimix's strong right hand. Ha! Hubertin's day is done, and mine is newly dawned. Yet, well, I suppose it was Hubertin who taught me the theory of sphere scrolls, and the adventure did work long and hard in service of this. Perhaps I should offer my thanks to the pair. I do so amuse myself. The very notion that my genius is less than anyone else's is ludicrous, but their contributions shall not be forgotten when I become Master Munimix's right hand. Well, miss, here it is, Eorzea's first Zodiac scroll. Take it with my wish that it serves you in your pursuit of the perfect weapon. Ha ha ha! Horrible, horrible man. I hope you have an alchemical accident. Or at the very least learn to chill. Alright then, one last quest to go to get the last piece. Alright, we are back, and I noticed that we actually got the Visidran to the Warden card from Sunken Temple of Karn Hard when we did that for the previous quest. So that's another card on our triple triad list. Nice, and another reward we don't need to worry about. Alright, for our last quest to get the pieces we need to build our new relic. Brengwine, hello. Remember me? I think I remember you. A treasured mother. Brengwine seems in a world to herself. Why, if it isn't the nice woman who wanted all those maps? What brings you Brengwine's way? Alexandrite? Oh, that bit of crystal my son brought home. I've been using it to brighten up my garden, but if it means that much to you, I suppose I could part with it. Well, in exchange for a few things anyway. It's just a few items that I have wanted for of late, and certainly nothing an adventurer like yourself should have any trouble with. Do we have a deal? Good. Well, the first thing I would like you to bring me is a bombard core. I just have to drop it into the bath and presto, boiling water to soak my bones in. Next, I should like some sacred spring water. My neighbor swears by it for getting stains out of dirty clothing. And lastly, I need a new teapot, a proper brass one. I should like something a bit easier to use than the chipped earthenware one I have now. I am sure you can barter or buy bombard cores and spring water, though I do not know where, but I do believe you are like to find metal kettles in the North Shroud. Alright, well, I've got a nice delivery for you then, Brangwine. My, that was quick. Are you sure you have everything, even the brass kettle? Yeah, I got it from the guy that I'm working with. Dearie me, aren't these lovely? Thank you, young one. I wish I could afford to buy such goods every day, but I have been tightening the purse strings of late. I should like to leave my son a tidy sum after I die. Not too much, of course, but enough that he can find a home for himself. Would that my husband were alive to watch over Eldwine after I'm gone. Yet it is better not to dwell on what could have been. I must set my son on his own 2 feet. Mark my words, young one, treasure hunting will not end well for him, the same as, well, never mind who. The point is, nothing I say can convince him to give it up. Perhaps it would carry more weight coming from an adventure. Well then, I have another task for you. Persuade my son to stop chasing treasure. He is somewhere in Western Lenosia, I believe. If you can make him see the folly of his ways, then that crystal is yours. Alright, sounds good. On to Western Lenosia. Let's go meet up with Eldwine. Been a bit. Alright, we can find Eldwine over here in Swift Perch. Right down here. Here you are. I believe you were here last time we came looking for you as well. Day in and day out, I hunch and I hunch, but I've nothing to show for me troubles. It'll be years before I can bring Ma any bloody cheer. Of course, plummeting me to death won't make her less glum neither. Ah, when did you get here? By God's guts, I need something to soothe my nerves after the start you gave me. You came on Ma's behalf. Ha! I'll wager she wants you to put paid to me treasure hunting days. Save your Sherman, friend. I'm not changing my ways. Eldwine's a treasure hunter through and through. Hells, I couldn't earn enough gil for watery grog if I tried my hand at something else. I know in me heart of hearts that me one great treasure's still out there, and I ain't quitting till I've got it. Of course, no one said I've got to go it on me own. How'd you feel about hunting me treasure for me? I just traded me last pair of socks for a Tibber 3, see? Word is, there's riches lost somewhere in Ambor Keep, Pharaoh Sirius, and the Tumtara Deepcroft. Now, they're a bit too perilous for old Eldwine, but a venture like ye will be just fine, won't you? And if any one of those treasures is big enough for me and Ma to live like kings, then I solemnly swear to give up treasure hunting. Cross me heart. Alright, 3 dungeons at once! Nice, I'll be back when we're done with them. And undoubtedly there's gonna be one more afterwards, just because the pattern's been 4 each. Alright, I am back. I got all of the treasures, the lost treasures from the 3 dungeons, and I turned in all the other loot I got to the Grand Company for seals. Got about almost 12,000 seals out of these runs. Very nice. Hello there, Eldwine. That smell, it ain't the sweet smell Santa treasure, is it? It is indeed. Here you are. 3 coffers. That's a wonder sight, friend. Let me pry these open and see what's inside. I tells ya, I haven't been so excited for nothing. What? This ain't nothing but a bunch of queer knickknacks. What wrinkly scroat thought this shite was worthy of keeping in a treasure coffer? Ah, well, old Eldwine don't get disheartened that easily. Might be as I've got a trick up my sleeve. See, there's another lost treasure. And you are going to find it for me in the Stone Vigil. I'd do it myself, but I tired myself out from all this shouting. Alright, Stone Vigil Heart is the last dungeon. Let's do it. And got the lost treasure of Stone Vigil. Kind of had a rough start. The tank got a little bit overeager, overpulled on the first pack, and we all got blasted by a dragon's fire, and we wiped immediately. Everything was smooth after that, but ooh, that's always fun when things just go wrong right off the bat. kind of embarrassing for me, but also like, it's a balance between how much does the tank want to pull versus how much do the tank and healer think they can handle. It's always fun trying to learn, figure that out with randos, especially randos who love to do big pulls, even when maybe, this tank was perfectly fine. They adjusted, they did perfectly fine. It's just like, this tank was an example of what you should do when tanking. If you want to do your big pulls, I'm fine with that, but like, you need to adjust to the healer if the healer gets overwhelmed. And considering my gear is only item level 124 overall versus the max of 130 for dungeons and a Realm Reborn, and also Stone Vigil's just generally really hard. Yeah, they overpulled a little bit, and that's fine. Anyways, hello there, Eldwine. I bring you the lost treasure. Did you find something in the Stone Vigil, friend? I did. Amazing bloody venture, yar. I can almost taste the treasure from here. Let's open her up, eh? Knickknacks, again! And I was so sure that the bloody lost treasure of the Stone Vigil? Years I've been at this, and for what? The 12 were telling me something, and I'm bound to listen. Their message is loud and clear. Keep treasure hunting. The more I struggle now, the bigger me find will be. And until I get me one and only, there ain't no reason to give up treasure hunt. Sorry if you're expecting another answer, my friend. Sir, this is the gambler's fallacy. No. Bad. Go get help. You have an addiction. You have 2 addictions. Don't screw up your face like that. Old Eldwine will leave you with a little secret. Tailor-made eel pie and a piece of perfect cloth. Give that pair to Ma and she'll give you whatever she wants. Tailor-made eel pie, of course, being from Culinarian, and perfect cloth from Weaver. Mine so bad, even with the fussin'. I know she's got me best interest at heart. She's just fretting so I don't go the same way as Pa. May he rest in peace. Died chasing dreams of wealth, Pa did. I only became a treasure hunter to walk in his footsteps. Right into the grave. I means to find everything he saw and make Ma happy along the way. Well, now you know why I can't stop. Any road might be as you can make Ma's treats from something old in the Silver Bazaar. Now I'm off to the tavern. In search of new treasure. Ah, yes. Alcohol is always a man's best treasure, it seems. No, it's not. Please don't get addicted. Please don't get addicted. It's very bad. Okay, well, that did not go as we had hoped, but at the very least, we know how to get a nice reward out of Brangwine. And unfortunately, when you repeat the quest, you have to do the entire thing, even though he already told us a tailor-made eel pie and a perfect cloth. If the Warrior of Light would just pay attention and have a functioning memory, we'd get to skip the entire quest every time. Oh well. You were gone for quite a while, Adventurer. Does that mean my son has come to his sense? You have something to give me? Yes. Heh, my favorite eel pie and some beautiful cloth for my needlework. And Eldwin told you to get them, you say? That son of mine, remembering what is dear to my heart. Heh, he might not have too much betwixt the ears, but he has a good heart. My late husband was just the same, always chasing his dreams. Now my son is the very same. Little wonder he's off on yet another treasure hunt. And dearie me, I had you running about after him. Thank you for trying. I should say you have more than earned this crystal. Alright, we got the flawless Alexandrite. We've obtained all the necessary items to recreate a Zodiac weapon. Report to Geralta, here's Mill to proceed. Alright, I'll meet you back there and we will get this weapon done. Alright then, Geralt. I return. I returned with everything we need to make our next weapon. We sense that Geralt is excited to see us back in Hearsmill. Really? He's excited for once. So you found all 4 bits and pieces, eh? How do I know? Ha, it's written all over your smug face. Does Geralt speak true, my friend? You have acquired all the items. Huzzah! Come, my friends, let us recreate an arm of yore. Well, we ain't there just yet, Jalzon. I can forge a host with the raw materials what Satora brought back quick as you please, but all we'll have then is a fancy weapon without the essence of a legendary arm. We've still got to join it with a special materia. By my reckoning, it's the only way to infuse our new host with the power of souls. How do you propose we fashion this materia? Should Satora gather 10 pieces of each form of Atma? No, mayhap 20, 50. Surely materia composed of 50 pieces would be sufficient. What the hell's you on about, old man? The answer's right in front of your eyes. The bleeding relic itself. You and Satora have done a fine job of filling the thing up with soul energy as the ancients did. Just turn all that to materia and meld it with our new host. Make the souls ascend into an arm of legend. 'Tis an awful amount of energy to deal with, though. Your average old craftsman would make a right mess of me finding a smith and disperse the souls to boot. What we need is a real master of materia, if you catch my drift. Master Munimix, but of course! Who else but he could create such potent materia? Come, Satora, you must go to the bonfire and ask his aid at once. Surely he will not refuse the challenge. Alright then, his dark materia accepted. Let's go meet up with Mutamix. Hello, Mutamix. I need your assistance. We are trying to make a weapon into materia. A little bit more than extracting a spirit bond. Psh, Skol. Huberton and Ad can trade many tongue flaps about sphere scrolls. But today, Uplander seeks materia knowings of Mutamix. Yeah, we're trying to turn a weapon into a materia. Uplander wants to make legendary fighty tool into materia. Interesting. Fighty tools full of airy self become amazing materia. And with the knowings in Mutamix's brain case, it possible. But Mutamix has shiver shakes. It is very big chance game. Even with the knowings of Mutamix cannot give word bond of success. Brain case filled with doubtful buzzing muchly. May go very, very unrightly. If Mutamix is failing, legendary fighty tool will turn to bitty bits. Airy self go bye-bye too. But we'll give help hand lending if Uplander is unweak of bladder. Give hail call and Mutamix make trip to your stay place. Alright, let's report back to Geralt, summon Mutamix, and get this done. Let's make our next step. Geralt, good news! Mutamix has agreed to help us. And what did Mutamix have to say? Ha! I knew he couldn't say no to a challenge like this. And that means everything's set for the great show. I've got my forge fired up, so all that's left is to tell Jalzon you're ready and willing. Well, me adventuring friend, what say we recreate us a legendary arm? Ha ha ha! Alright. Let's go tell Jalzon. Probably want to take the weapon off, actually, so we can actually, hand it over, turn it into a materia, and then make the weapon. Oh god, brain, come on. Okay, there it is, our codex. We're gonna be making this in a little bit in the crafting episode coming up. Don't worry about it. Eh? Oh. Zodiac weapon recreation, here we go. You are ready to recreate a legendary arm from times of eld? Then let us make the soul of your current relic ascend to a new forged vessel, and so remake a Zodiac weapon. Alright. Oh, I've got options. Oh, I have options, actually. Whew. Yeah, these are all the ones that are currently caught up. I've got 6 of the 10 caught up right now. I'll get back to the other 4 soon enough. I've just been busy with Dawn Trail's release, has had me very preoccupied. Okay, here's a good question. What do I want to take into... I'm going to be taking multiple jobs into binding coils, so... would not be able to just do one and call that good. No, we've been sticking with Scholar through all this. We're going with Scholar. I'll get the rest caught up in due time. Have all your materials? Let's go. Yes, the Zodiac weapon we make with these will be finer than aught else in the land. If you are firm in your purpose, let us begin. Okay. Mind will go up by 9 points, Vitality by 8. Direct hit by 1. Direct hit up again by 1, so that'll be plus 2 total. Critical hit plus 3, Determination plus 2. Sounds good, and our item level goes up to 125. The culmination of our efforts is so close at hand, Satora. Come, let us call Master Mutamix, and then to work. So I'm to be first. Well, just you watch what I can do with this old hammer and anvil. I'll forge a host for the Zodiac weapon that's what's got no equal in all Eorzea. Whew. Well, 'tis done. Behold the weapon precisely as it was in days of yore. All that's left is to meld materia to it. Well, Master Mutamix, I believe that is your area of expertise. Will you transform Satora's relic into materia? Psh, Shko. This relic is very mighty fighty tool, full of airy self. Mutamix has many shiver shakes. Cannot give word bond the secret joining skill of Mutamix will be success. If fail, fighty tool will turn to bitty bits. Please be warned that your chance of success for turning a relic weapon nexus into materia is 1.4%. Your relic will be lost if the process fails. You will have to start all over again. Say yes. Don't just say yes. Please be warned. The chance of success for turning a relic weapon nexus into materia is 1.4%. Your relic weapon will be lost if the process fails. Are you certain you wish to proceed? Yes. That's the spirit. Well, you heard the bold last Mutamix. Make the relic into materia. Then let the chance game of many heart thumps begin. Giant Eyes. Does Mutamix true see? The relic fighting tool of the Uplander is now materia. Mutamix has success muchly. Ha! I knew you had it in you, Mutamix. Then all that remains is for us is to join the relic made materia to Gerald's Zodiac weapon host. Now I shall attempt to complete the arm with the Zodiac scroll and the flawless Alexandrite. Legend tells us a grimoire such as this was passed down through the mages of Nim. Indeed, Golbus Rhombus, the hero who saved his people from the floods of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, was known to rely upon it as his secret weapon. Come, take up your last resort, born of Star's radiance, forged through hero's might, and imbued with soul's blessing. I never noticed before now that Eldwine actually shows up and is hiding around the corner trying to see if it works. Oh, that's extremely funny. All right, so the game's gaslighting you. It's 100% chance of success. It will not fail. It is gaslighting you. This game loves to gaslight you into thinking things are going wrong, but they're going very right. It comes up a few more times, and it's always funny when it happens. And the player base is generally pretty good about going along with it and making sure to gaslight new players into thinking, oh god, shit's gone horribly wrong. It's very funny. Because there's this huge sense of relief when it turns out there was never an issue in the first place. Anyways. Our last resort. One final step to go before we have finished our relic weapons. Let's take a look at the last resort. No glow to it, but it is a very, very elaborate design. Look at those wings. All right then. I'm gonna switch over to my main, and we're gonna check out the other 9 weapons. All right, here we are back in here, Smill. Let's check out those other weapons. So starting off with the Excalibur. The Excalibur, not the Excalibur Zeta. And let's sheathe our weapon, toggle how we display. Kind of a shiny goldish. Ah, I see. Got a bunch of markings up top. I was gonna say a surprisingly short blade, but all the markings on the blade itself make it look shorter. Interesting design. Next up, the shield. Again, a fairly ornate design. Silver with a bunch of gold on it. Gold decorations, that is. Next up is the monk weapon. If you would stop bouncing, that would be nice. Looks like... I cannot tell what that design... Oh, come on. Cannot tell what that design is, but it does have 3 claws on it. If we sheath it, can we get a better look at the hip? A little bit. Nah, it's kind of covered. Oh well. Next on our list is the Ragnarok, which I believe is... Yep, that's the warrior weapon. Alright, let's take a look at this. I have a cat trying to turn off my recording. Please don't. Kitty. Okay. Let's see. We're going to want to put that away because that is, again, bouncing around too much. Silvery blades. Kind of like a black, almost obsidian look to the handle itself. Interesting design there. Kind of a bronzish piece on the handle there. Next up on the list is the Longinus for Dragoon. Yeah, let's keep these put away for now because it'll just be easier to look. Interesting markings up and down it. Kind of looks like wear and tear, maybe from... Kind of looks like finger marks almost, with how it's thin and wrapped around. But the top of the spear, kind of a gemstone up there it looks like. And 3 prongs to stab into your enemies. Very painful. I will say, I don't think I'm a big fan of this tier actually, so far. Alright, Yoichibo for the Bard. Oh, but this is pretty nice. This is fairly sleek. I mean, it's a bow. It's a simple bow. It's a sleek bow. It's pretty good. Still not my favorite tier. No, not really at all. Okay, next up is the ninja weapon, Sasuke's blades. Let's take a look at those. Ooh, hoo, hoo. I do like this a bit. I think my main issue is it just kind of looks too ornate. The decorations just are a little bit much for me, and I do really like the glowy particle effects on other tiers. Next up is Nirvana, which is going to be our white mage weapon. Let's take a look at you. Ooh, that is well polished. Very well polished. Also, I believe some, if not all, of the Realm Reborn relic weapons now have 2 die slots. Courtesy of the Dawn Trail update. I know at the very least the warrior weapon does because my roommate, Flittish, was really popping off about it. I like those hanging crystals. Though that is a very, very spiny top to the weapon. Next up is the Lilith Rod for Black Mage. Again, a fairly sleek rod. Kind of starts twisting in a twisted pair at the top of snakes, it looks like. And a gemstone wrapped in wings. Interesting. Okay, I do like this one. This is pretty good. Again, though, it's not my favorite tier. There's some previous tiers that I think do look better. Next on the list, we have the Apocalypse, and this will be the last one because this is Summoner. All right, let's pull that weapon out. Ooh, look at that. This is really good. Look at that pulsing gemstone. Wow. And that is an interesting... Seriously, why black paper? Okay, so I'm used to bleached white paper, and I've seen plenty of brown paper. I have never seen naturally black paper. And I think that's why it's weird to me, because my brain's like, oh, that's a lot of ink you've wasted. But, like, it could just be like they use a material that makes a black paper. Also, Vitruvian Man on the right. I love that. Okay, and then I do want to double check. I need to hop back over to LP file in order to check that out. Also, oh god, I turned on the glasses for a joke with my partner and forgot to take them off. 2 pairs of glasses at once looks awkward. Anyways, I'll switch back over and we'll double check the die slots. Okay, so I know for sure that you can do double die slots on at least one of the warrior relic weapons. I'm pretty sure it was the Ragnarok Zeta. Okay, yeah, there are 2 die slots on this. Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. Sorry, I just want to take a look at this real quick. Draw our weapon. So what actually dies on it? Let's see. So I've not actually done anything with dying before. I have not actually done anything with the dual die slots before. Okay, so I press triangle to switch between die 1 and die 2. Let's zoom it in so we can just see what changes. It looks like it's the base color of the book. Yeah, it's the base color beneath all the decorations that gets dyed. How about the paper itself? Paper doesn't get dyed, but that makes sense. Okay, so let's... blue. Let's set it as blue for now. That could look good depending on dye channel 2. And that dyes the decoration. Ooh, good choices. Yeah, that makes sense, but that's really good choices. What would look good paired with a blue? Background. It needs to be something that kind of contrasts. This kind of looks, the contrast is good, the color matching is not. Yeah, I'm not good enough with color theory to know what would look good here. Yeah, but neat, you can do 2 dyes on your books. On your relic weapons. That is fantastic. I would assume that's for all the relic weapons then, since it's for Scholar and it's for Warrior. Might as well be for all of them. Neat. And they're going to be adding dual die channels to as much gear as they can going forward. It'll take time until they have it all, but yeah, that's it. That is it for this step of the relic weapons. So then, with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, it'll be a while before I get all the relic weapons caught up to this step, but next time on Final Fantasy XIV, post-Moogle, and then an extreme trial. I'll see everyone next time for that.